Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this customer overview of the product and company what's spreading across the globe with a great message from Scandinavia, Zinzino. And a little bit about myself. My name is Stephen Lee Wilson, live in Cheshire, UK, Manchester, health professional, health practitioner. Been working in the field about 14 years, and my journey set off with a bit of a crisis. And when I go over the opportunity of being a customer with Zinzino, it'll shed some light why I get quite passionate about this product and the service and their offering. So, back when I was a young boy, I was into my nutrition and training and, rugby, golf, and athletics at a good level when I was younger. And at 23, I got cancer, Burkitt lymphoma cancer, which, as a lot of people will know now, that cancer is a form of inflammation. We're going to talk a little bit about inflammation in this call, and it kind of stopped me in my tracks. For about a year and a half I was ill in hospital, but then it stopped me, and instead of doing engineering, I wanted to learn more about nutrition and lifestyle and health and well-being. So getting out of hospital with it all clear after the chemotherapy, given not so great advice on nutrition from the health professionals, I decided to take it upon myself to learn more and delve into this industry of health and wellness. And fast forward 14 years, I'm full 14-year remission. But I've also, learned a lot in my journey doing that and offer all my knowledge to my clients in the health sector. Zinzino, I bolted this into my practice because it's such a phenomenal product, but not guest-based nutrition. It's test-based, and we can test the blood for this inflammation levels, and all inflammation leads to problems along the way and down the line. So that's why this, to me, is a perfect solution to see where you're at right now. So Zinzino, they're a 15-year-old company from Scandinavia, and now currently sweeping the globe. Been open in Australia for about 8 months now. UK literally just opened this year, and opening in several countries over the next coming 12 months. So it's a very exciting product, and I think it will completely change the health and well-being revolution. So what we have is, we have a lot of science, a lot of information. We have the internet, which gives us so much information, if not an information overload these days. And if you're a customer watching this, you're probably confused of what's the right thing to do and what's the wrong thing to do, because there is so much information. Everyone, unfortunately, is a guru. But the stats are that Australia and the UK are two of the most unhealthiest countries in the world. Even though we've got the most advanced, internet and technology and resources to read upon, we still find ourselves, with lots of cases of type 2 diabetes, cancer, type 1 obesity, fibromyalgia, chronic illnesses, chronic fatigues, and all these things are coming from an inflammation point of view. Okay, and this is one of the problems. 95% of people are in the danger zone, which just means that they're way too high in omega-6 to omega-3. So to keep it very simple for you, omega-6 is inflammation and omega-3 is anti-inflammation. But what you'll find with your own diet is, what you should ask yourself is, when was the last time you ate wild caught fish, and when was the last time you had an omega-3 supplement? And that would be a question I would ask yourself today, which I ask to all my clients, and it's generally none to many. You can't get omega-3 from farm fish, which is what you find in most supermarkets. You need line caught wild fish, but that's going to cost a lot of money to do it all the time, and you're going to run the risk of lead and mercury, getting that into your blood. Now, we get omega-3s from flax seeds as well, but we're wanting these DHA and EPAs in the body. So just to keep it really simple, omega-6, we should be 3-to-1. We're born 1-to-1, but we should be 3-to-1. Now, what happens is, with the ultra-processed dieting and vegetable oils and all the crap they put in processed food these days, that omega-6 level, from the moment you start eating as a young child, increasing that omega-6, which is moving you into an inflammation state, okay? So it's climbing up. And what that means is the cell's getting hard, so the toxins can't leave, and the good nutrients and oils and micronutrients can't get into the cell. So we're walking around in society with either a low to medium to high inflammation level on a cellular blood level, which is not healthy and will always lead to some sort of problem down the line. The reason why I get passionate about this, you know, cancer, myself being a cancer survivor, I was in an inflammation state. I'm definitely not now, because I follow the protocol, which I'm going to explain to you tonight, and I know from the blood testing, which I'll explain. So that's why I get quite passionate about it. But that's just giving you what is in most people's diets, really high in omega-6. And Zinzino have not created a product or a company, you know, with a crazy marketing plan. They've created a product and a blood test for a problem, because 97% of people are out of balance because of this problem with the ultra-processed food and the cells getting, you know, really hard over time. But not to fear, we can fix this. So this is where you want to be, 3-to-1 ratio. But people think they're around about 7-to-1, but the reality is that most people are 15-to-1. So this diagram is just showing you where people think they are and where they actually are. I've tested, you know, lots of clients now in my practice, and I test people from chronic illnesses to, you know, you might be a fitness professional watching this, you know, with a great six-pack, but I've tested people like yourselves at 25, 30-to-1 out of balance. I've tested professional nutritionists who've been following an omega-3, you know, a pescatarian diet for years, and the cells are still have no protection because their omega-3 supplement and their diet's not working on that cellular level, and they've already gone past that omega-6 range. So that's just to give it food of thought. How do we know where you're at, you know, right now on a cellular level? So Zinzino offer a independent blood test. This is a great way of understanding what your blood is actually doing right now, you know, in your body right now. So you can see the inflammation levels and the problems and the key areas that we need to work on a fatty acid level. It's an independent blood test. Vitas, 25-year-old company. It's not owned by Zinzino. You don't leave any details on the test other than your height, age, and weight, and an email address. So I could basically, you know, go up to somebody in the street and give one of these tests. It's just a barcode. It doesn't know that it's you. So it's independent and anonymous. So, you know, if in case you were thinking, you know, of course you're going to test my blood out of balance and then sell me some really great omega-3s, then the test is anonymous and it's just a barcode. So that defeats any skepticism. You know, if maybe you were thinking that. I know when I looked at this to add it to my practice, that was one of the questions I asked. So yeah, so Zinzino have tested now, it's coming up to nearly 500,000 clients they have tested over a 8-year period, which is amazing. So why the omega-3 is different? So 500 million users of omega-3 daily in the world, okay? And as a nutrition practitioner, I've been recommending omega-3 to clients, you know, all my life. I've taken omega-3 since I was 13 myself. When I got into physique training with my uncle, one of the first things he said is to take omega-3 supplement along with, you know, protein and vitamin C. But the reality is that omega-3s in the marketplace, they're just DHA and EPA, and they have no polyphenols. Polyphenols being the key word. So polyphenols come from early harvest olives, which are mixed together with the DHA and the EPA from small cold water fish to make a proprietary blend, a unique blend, a USP blend, where the polyphenols soften the cell to allow the toxins to release and allow the new oil and the nutrients, what you're eating in your diet, to absorb into the cell on a cellular level. And that's why the blood test shows us where we are right now. The oil begins to put us back into balance, because the cells on the average person, like I was saying, you know, they can be 10, 15, 20. I've even seen 30-to-1 in children where they're in a really high inflammation state, and we need to soften them cells and get new omega-3, DHA and EPA deep into the cells, which is a revolution in itself. The blood test proves where you are, but all our clients get a second blood test at 4 months. And we, as a company, have worked out that around about 120 days it will take to get back into balance, which will start to relieve a lot of different health conditions. These are some of the health benefits from DHA and EPA from omega-3. So the three big ones are brain function, heart function, and the immune function. And immune system being a big priority now. Immune system's always been a big priority, in my opinion, but since this recent events, of the virus and things going around, I'm not making claims that if you take this product, it's going to stop the virus, but what I would say is it's going to really help you cellular level and your gut health and everything working synergistically to have a really tip-top immune system. And I would rather walk around with a tip-top immune system all the time, and especially right now. So that's just something to think about. But other things that DHA and EPA add to, so you've got blood pressure, hypertension is a big one in the UK, processes, cell division, you've got the teeth health, hair health, skin health. It's just so important, and that's why they call it essential fatty acid, because it's essential, and our bodies cannot produce DHA or EPA. We can physically not produce it. Our brain needs fatty acid to function correctly. We don't produce it. The blood test actually shows the brain health as well, the fatty acid around the brain, so we can see and gauge what that's doing at the time as well, which really helps clients with low mood, depression, brain fog, things like that, which we can really help with by being back in balance. There's more conditions what this actually helps with. These are just 18 from the European Food Safety Authority. So this is not Zinzino, it's not me. This is just global data from Europe. So you can do your own research on that. But you look into EPA or DHA, or if you know anyone in the nutrition industry, ask them, what supplement would you take from pregnancy, birth till death, and it will be omega-3, like I would recommend. I'm a new father, and I was very keen on, you might be pregnant on this call, you might know somebody who's pregnant. I was very keen on getting my girlfriend in balance, throughout the pregnancy towards the end, and obviously afterwards, because the baby pulls the DHA and EPA from the body for its brain development, for the fatty acid. So, we've got a beautiful little girl now, 4 months old, and, in great health. That I know that key to that health is making sure that she's getting the right omega-3, the DHA and the EPA. There's lots of good research on that now as well. These are a few testimonials. There's hundreds of these online, and I'm sure the person who invited you to the call will give you the access. We have a YouTube testimonial platform where you can check out, watch live videos of people who've taken the test, done a 4-month journey, and taken the second test, showing you that they're back in balance in a 4-month period. So you can just see some of these numbers on here and what they are after the 4-month period of getting back in balance with the oil. How it works, it's very simple. You obviously speak to the person who invited you to the call. You take a test, independent blood test in the privacy of your own home. This current market, this current environment does not affect us whatsoever because it's drop shipped to your door. You take a test, choose what oil that you'd like to be on, which I'll go in the next slide. You wait about 14 days and you'll get your test results online, which is explained to you through the platform. There's a video on how to read it. The person who obviously is working with you on this will give you the advice as well. And we have the tools for you to understand your cellular level on a fatty acid level and where you need to change things and improve things, and how the balance oil can put you back in balance. Now, if you're a lucky person and you're in balance, which, I've taken omega-3 for 25 years, 24 years, I'm 38, and I was out of balance. I was 4-1 out, but I had no cellular protection. And from a personal experience, I used to get knee pains. I used to get a slight bit of IBS from certain foods. Could never put my finger quite on it. But when I looked at the blood test, the cellular protection was really low. So my body's response system to fight against things like foods and allergies and things like that. Since I've been taking the oil for quite a few months now, I don't get any of them issues, and my knees are great, literally, don't hurt whatsoever. And I did a long, played rugby and kickboxing at the same time for, maybe 12, 15 years. So obviously a lot of compounding sports. Never had any operations, luckily, touch wood. But the oil has really helped with the slight pain what I just used to experience from training in them areas. So that's just my personal experience from it. But I have lots of different clients from all kinds of issues with anxiety, depression, chronic fatigue, illnesses, low mood, cancer recovery. And it's really important to be back in balance and to be back in a non-inflammation state. If health is important to you, and I'm sure if you're on this call, health is important to you. And with the current climate, the influx of people's importance is now health rather than, curries and takeaways and, going out and drinking too much, where health has become a priority. Like I said, it would do at some point. But yeah, it's been great to see the transition, even though there's been a lot of problems and things with this virus going around. So these are some of the oils. We have the Balance Original Oil, which is a lemon, vanilla or orange flavour. It's DHA, EPA infused with the polyphenols, which soften the cell. Great product. So prices works out at €30 a month. It's a great product and great price point. We've got the Aqua Balance Oil. This is great. It's a patented with an emulsifier. So basically you can add that to water, to a smoothie, to food. This is something that I'll put my little girl on when she starts eating, because omega-3 for children is very important, for their development, brain development, and all the other functions, what you saw on the previous slide. We've got a capsule for those of you who don't like taking oil. If fish oil is something that you don't like the taste of, we have a capsule version for you, exactly the same ingredients. I think the actual oil and the proprietary blend is great tasted. It goes down dead easy. I've never had a complaint from a client about it, and that's like probably 90% of people, in my client base who use the lemon or the orange flavour in that are the two favourite flavours that I hear a lot about. Then for the vegans, you might be a vegan on this call. We have a unique patented now, not patent pending, a patented vegan oil, and this is DHA and EPA taken from sea algae. Now the fish actually, that's where they get their omega-3 from, and that's why I said earlier that if you eat farm fish or low quality grade fish, there won't be any omega-3 in it anyway, and there'll be a lot of lead and mercury, which is not great for you. But this vegan blend is DHA and EPA from sea algae, and then they mix it with the polyphenols, which is just amazing because you don't produce DHA or EPA. And I've worked with a lot of vegans over the years with certain issues, certain health issues, a long list of them on different occasions. And it's generally down to this deficiency in essential fatty acids. And now we've got a solution for you. You can keep your values and your ethics around eating that way, which is completely fine. And I don't judge any client or person I meet about their eating, their eating ways, whether it be pescatarian, ketosis, veganism. But what I do know is you do need essential things within your diet, essential oils, essential vitamins, essential prebiotics, what we just don't get from the diet today. So that is the vegan oil. Great product as well for you to try if you are a vegan. Once you become a customer, I see this quite a lot. So a lot of my customers, they get quite, they get woken up, should I say, I was going to say shocked, but woken up by the initial blood results to see what their inflammation state is on a cellular level. Then they automatically, generally, want to help like the brother or the mother or the father or the partner, and they're like, they start to naturally tell people. So Zinzino have created a really great model for you guys where you can get your product considerably cheaper and if not free long term. We have a Zinzino app called the Balance app, and by taking your product for 365 days, it reminds you to take it at the right time. So for instance, my app tells me, it's 7 a.m. Stephen, have you taken your oil and your multivitamins and your prebiotics? I press it every day. At 365 days, you're going to get free shipping for life. Like I said to you previously, that any person in the health and wellness industry as a practitioner will be telling you a lot about the importance of essential fatty acids and other things as well, but essential fatty acids. So it's not something that, this is not a weight loss company or a quick fix company. It's a cellular level, clinically tested with a blood test company where we can monitor where you are and put you back in balance over a period of time. And the great thing is when you enjoy this customer journey and you get the health benefits from it, and it's validated at 4 months with the second blood test, you then can feel confident in helping friends and family who you love, not by, you know, selling them anything, just by referring them on, like Amazon, like any referral company like that. We can take care of the admin and obviously the advice and set that customer up. And once you've got 4 referrals in, you're going to get your product for free each month, which is a great reward just for referring a few friends and family on who you care about, and you want to make sure that their inflammation state is in order. You know, for me, I've tested obviously my girlfriend, my parents, my sisters, my closest friends, because the ones I love, I know how important this is, and I want to get them back in balance as fast as possible. So that's the customer for free. They call it the Z4 for free. It's a very great benefit as a customer. Talk about a few other products, what we do. Obviously, the main product is the blood test and the oil and getting back in balance. But I believe in working synergistically, and we offer what we call a protocol package. In this current time, I've never seen as many people be so interested in their immune system. And I'm sure that you might be on this call because of that very reason. Immune system should be looked after regardless of a crisis. It's just something that you should take care of. But we build the immune system in our gut. So in our gut, we are about 80% bacteria. We have a gut-brain connection, and we build our immune system in our gut. But we need essential minerals and vitamins to help with that immune system. Now, to get 23 essential multivitamins from your diet today, you would probably have to eat 3.5 to 4,500 calories a day. Now, if you know anything about weight loss, you'll have heard a word called calorie deficit, which basically means if you want to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit over a period of time to lose the weight. Okay? So you need to be in a calorie deficit to lose the weight. And what happens is, if you try and eat 4,000 dense calories a day to get the essential minerals and vitamins within your recommendation, which I'm recommending to you, you would put weight on, because the problem is the food's not as rich with the nutrients, the soil's not as well looked after like it used to be. It's been turned over too many times. So you've got exhausted soils, you've got exhausted farms where trying to get the essential fatty acids and minerals and vitamins from your diet on a daily basis, in my opinion, is very difficult and would cost a fortune, and is very expensive if you're going to do it like whole base, and you would have to eat too many calories, which would then put you, you know, overweight. Even if it was healthy food, you put weight on from the calories, not from if you're eating healthy or unhealthy. You know, I've seen people lose weight eating unhealthy diets because they're in a calorie deficit. That is the law of losing weight. Any person who knows what they're talking about will tell you that. So my point is to get the essential minerals and vitamins, and they're very important too. So we have a product called Extend, 23 essential multivitamins in there, which is going to really help boost the immune system. Just 2 tablets a day. And that product works out at €22 a month on a subscription. So it's not expensive, but it's a really high-end, great product, what works with the oil really well. Then we've got the prebiotics, one of my favorite products. We are 80% bacteria. We have a gut-brain connection, and you'll have heard many people talk about having gut problems, IBS, chronic pain, maybe depression, certain mood swings. And a lot of the time, if the gut health is bad from ultra-processed food, sugar, alcohol, you know, pharmaceuticals, what's damaged the gut bacteria over time, that poor gut bacteria, the good one, we always have some good bacteria in its gut, but, you know, it's way overrun by the bad bacteria. So this Zinzinobiotic, which is one of my favorite products, it's great for helping that good bacteria restore and, you know, get back in balance in the gut section. Okay, so it works 1 scoop in the morning and you build up to 2 scoops, like 1 at night. That's how I take it myself, and I've been taking this product for a while now. I absolutely love it. Got all my clients on this from my practice as the protocol program. So basically, how I advise my clients, and I would advise you as well if you're looking at this seriously for your health, and if health is important to you, I use the blood test to see where you're at on a cellular level with the inflammation. I use the omega-3 to put themselves back in balance takes around about 4 months to get back in balance. But the prebiotics can start working straight away within about 2 to 4 days, start to really populate that good bacteria again to stop the inflammation, stop the IBS in the gut, which helps with the gut-brain connection, helps with the mood, helps with how you feel. If you want to read anything, read some things on gut-brain connection and do a bit of research on that. But having the good bacteria in there, fermented foods obviously in the diet, reducing the dairy and the wheat and the yeast and things what are going to trigger that gut bacteria. But give it some help, give it some prebiotics, which is really going to help that gut health. Extend helps your immune system. The balance oil really helps your cellular level. So synergistically working together, you've got 3 amazing products there, which is no more than a night out for a meal with the family on a monthly expense. But the person who obviously invited me to the call will be able to talk to you about that. We have a lean protein, which is great. We have a plant-based one, which is really good and lean. Great in this environment to have spare things like that in the cupboard, which you can quickly blend up, with some nut milks. I always advise people, use some nut milks. Plenish is a great brand for doing that. No toxins in it or anything. It's got no emulsifiers, just a clean blend, all with water, no problem. And then we've got the Viva. So the Viva is basically a really good sleep aid. It's got Afron in there. It helps relax. And I'm sure that people are struggling with sleep and a bit of anxiety now. It doesn't knock you out. It's just a great product where it just calms the nervous system down gently at night time and helps you get into a nice relaxing sleep. And sleep is just as important as eating healthy, because if we're not sleeping deep sleep and getting into that REM and getting that growth hormone going and recovering, we're never going to feel that good, no matter how great as diet is. Sleep is so important. Viva is we have a skin serum for those of you want to look as young as myself. I'm 52, and I'm joking, 38. But this is great. This feeds the skin. There's some great research behind this product, and if you want to understand it on a deeper level, the person who invited you on this call will be able to send you a quick little video about this, which is really interesting. Just 5 minutes. It'll talk all about how it feeds the skin and the epidermis, and take a look at that. If skin is obviously one of our biggest organs, and we need to make sure we're not putting too many chemicals in there, from your high street things with all the petrol and all the different chemicals in those high street products. The oil obviously is the biggest seller. We're part of some great groups here, Informed Sport, the GMP. It is a product what's going to be, in my opinion, a lifelong product. I want all my clients, including myself, including my partner, including my little baby when she starts even to take the oil, from birth till death, because we need the essential oil. It's how I normally, and I'll leave you with this, you wouldn't buy a brand new car, drive it all over the world and never put any great oil to run the engine in, because it would break down. And that's what, unfortunately, a lot of people in different countries like the UK and America have been running on no oil, or have been running on low grade oils. And this is a great way to see where you are on a cellular level, get back in balance with the oil, look at the prebiotics for the gut health, which I'd highly recommend, and then the multivitamin, which is going to really boost the immune system, keep that immune system super strong. So if you're unfortunate in catching anything, whether it be a cold or anything what's going around, you're going to have the right immune system to fight that off, and have the great gut health to keep producing and having a great immune system. So I'll leave you with that, guys. Just to add, actually, we have a great doctor behind the product, Dr. Clayton, been studying omega-3 for 45 years in Edinburgh University. look him up, Dr. Clayton. He's got a great website talking about all his studies and what he's been doing over the decades of his work. Very interesting and very knowledgeable guy on the products. So I'd like to leave you with this, guys. Stay safe. Try and stay indoors as much as you can, but get out for a walk, a run, a jog, and keep your exercise up. But start to take your health seriously on a cellular level. Go back to the person who added you onto this call, have a conversation with them, ask for any more information. We've got a full video platform to give you some nice videos to explain on further detail if you didn't get everything from this call. But look forward to your health journey and start putting your health first. And I think everyone's starting to switch into that mindset of, health, then the wealth, and then all the other hobbies like going out and drinking and everything. So stay safe, stay good, and I'll speak to you all soon.